But yes, welcome to a very interesting live edition of the Indistinct Conversation podcast. My name is Nelson Crawford. I'm your host, and as we slowly dredge towards 100 episodes, I'm joined by my co-host, a man who's been going through this adventure called 2020 with me, and we've been having a terrible time. I'm joined by Xander Cook.
Hey everybody. I didn't realize we started, so I literally just started my recording machine with the hey everybody. So, do you want to do that intro again?
No, I don't.
All right, fine. You're the editor, bro. It's your call.
You're right, I am. That's what I do.
Director, producer, you're the man. So.
Yeah, Mr. Big Time, Mr. Big Chips over here. Hello, my name is Jonathan Big Chips, and I'm here to welcome you to the Indistinct Conversation podcast. The world you're living in might be a little different now.
Yeah, this is the last. We're doing this on election night, so it's definitely a bizarre time. Transitional era, to say the least.
A lot of manic energy in the air, mainly on my part.
I'm kind of dealing in a similar way. I just made a fresh pot of hot coffee, and it's like 8 o'clock at night. I'm kind of just like, I'm going to be sharp and ready for it. I feel like, we've talked about this before, where it's like we are not the ones at stake in this election. We're both kind of middle class dudes, Yeah. But at the same time, I feel for everybody who is at risk during this time, and it's like, you don't vote for perfection, you vote for harm mitigation, and I hope that by the time we're done recording this, or by tomorrow morning, we have some good news. But this is such a weird one that we're not going to know, man.
Yeah, we're not going to know.
So polls are saying Biden, but I'm already hearing some bad news about that he basically Trump won South Carolina already, and it's already going bad. So we just gotta be a little hopeful and hang on and see what happens. We got other shit to talk about until then, though. Well, so do you want to just jump right into Good Lord Bird?
Yeah, let's it's like the world
fresh on our minds.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the world when this comes out, but the one thing that you can count on is that you're going to get a recap of the latest episode of The Good Lord Bird. And that's episode 5, Hive The Bees. Let's get into it. I'm going to crack open my notebook. All right.
It was really good.
It was really good. And that's the thing. Compared to, these episodes that have all these, crazy, gunfights and, all this action to it, this episode was very, person-heavy and, very...
Plot-heavy.
Yeah, it was very plot-heavy, very character-based. I think that's probably the most notes I've taken on this on this show is from this episode.
I saw you doing that and felt bad because I'm usually the note guy, and I wasn't doing it at all because I'm also listening to election shit at the same time.
No, that's all right, because
No,
because I just finished recapping all of Lovecraft Country on the Punk Black podcast, and I did that straight from memory, and I know I left out some stuff that people might be pissed about, and I'm just like, fuck it.
We're doing our best.
Yeah, I do my best. I have 2 YouTube channels, 2 podcasts. I'm trying. I just want you people to love me. But yeah, let's get into this.
It basically, my shame over here, there's a guy named Cook who even kind of looks like me.
Yeah.
And in the when they introduced him, they made it seem like he's kind of a shithead. But then maybe there's hope for him. And this episode, he's just acting like a shithead the whole time.
Yeah, this episode verifies that Cook is a shithead because it opens.
He's blabbing about their secrets. He's fucking this guy's wife.
Yeah,
God damn it,
dude.
Yeah,
let's get into it. So the episode opens with Onion and Cook, and they're undercover. They're looking for a place to stay before they run through this plan in what was the town? Fucking Harper's Ferry.
Yeah.
Before they go there and rob the weapons base that they were talking about robbing in the prior episode, they're gathering everybody.
The rifle depot or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the gun depot that's just guarded by 2 guys.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. And so Cook sees this white lady, just hanging about, and he's like, oh, hell yeah. And so, just goes in and is just like, hey, little mama, you trying to fuck? Like,
yeah, and this is like I'm not trying to shame anybody, not like a professional actress especially, but like this woman does not look like the hot young thing that like this type of dude would like chase. Like she's like pretty thick. Like you can kind of tell she's someone's wife just at a glance. You know what I'm saying? Like as a guy in my mid 30s on dating websites a lot, you can tell right away. You're like, she's got a few kids, and then that's not a deal breaker, but it's a thing. You know what I mean? So,
no.
But this guy is definitely just smashing somebody's mom. You know what I mean? Just like, she's like, oh my god, no cowboys talk to me like that in ages. Like that's the vibe she gives off, But then it goes immediately into like extremely problematic racism.
Yeah, because Onion's like, hey, yo, we gotta go. I don't know why
we
you're
have a
telling
mission. Stop trying to fuck this bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, you gonna let your slave talk to me like that? And he's like,
yeah.
No, sorry, she's a bit mouthy.
And he just plays along so that he can save face with her and still get laid. Instead of doing the right thing and defending the slave, he's like, I'm going for this fucking pussy. I'm going for it. And and they're not even a slave. Onion's not even a slave, So it's like,
yeah,
yeah.
So he ditches Onion. And so Onion is like, well, fuck, I just got left, so I still gotta run through this plan. And, he goes to where he think he can find these people. And these people, it's funny because we were talking about it during the episode that, like, it seems like only the white people can't tell that Onion isn't a girl.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, the first black woman that Onion comes up to is just like, why is there a fucking skinny black boy in a dress talking to me? Like, that's literally what she says.
Yeah, like, fucking all of these black people see right through this shit. They're like, what the
so
fuck are you
funny.
Like, everybody either calls him a sissy or is like, what are you doing in a dress? Like, any black person he talks to just sees right through it.
We talked about this before, but it's like, it's so funny that, like, that seems like the bigger sin. Like, they're like, what the fuck? You're cross-dressing? Like, in the era of slavery, it's, like, completely unheard of to be trans or even, like, a little bit, oh my god. It's like, yeah, I understand the concept of being a human property, but not wearing the dress of the opposite gender. It's just so funny.
You're wearing a dress. That's where I draw the line, buddy. Yeah. So, like, so Onion's going around town, like, trying to find help. And basically, hold on one second. I just realized I could flip my camera so that I'm actually facing you instead of having to look. I'm having to look at the wall instead of my monitor where you're at.
Yeah.
It feels super weird.
I feel you.
But yeah, so Onion is like going around town and like nobody trusts him. Like, everybody's like, yo, you're going to fucking get us all killed. Like,
everybody who's black is looking at him like he's sus. He's like, we know what's going on. Like you're new in town. You're a boy in a dress. You're bragging about how you can read. This is not okay. This does not bode well for us and our culture,
No, it doesn't.
So.
Yeah, and so basically it leads to, like, one of the guys from the house comes up to him and is like, oh, you can read. All right, go talk to the railman. And again, the railman's telling Onion about this card game, and apparently they're gonna try and spread the word about this card game to like gather troops.
Well, yeah, the railman's whole thing was he was like, why the hell did you come to this slave town when there's Baltimore and there's Washington where there's slaves who read books and who are free and who want to get
Yeah, it's like you guys want to fight. That's why.
Yeah, he's like these slaves around here don't even know how to handle a rifle. Like, he's being racist against slaves. You know what I mean? Because he's a free guy or whatever. But it also kind of makes sense. It's like, why wouldn't you spread the word around the free states first and try to get some, but was that before
because
or
the free
after?
states are going to be the easiest.
True.
Why would you start with the free states and they're going to be easiest? You want to start with where it's going to be hard. And so, yeah, that makes sense.
I would probably fight harder if I was freshly liberated. I guess that's true. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like if I'm in a cage and somebody burns down the cage and says, fight with me, I'm going to go fight with them.
So this goes on, and eventually there's this lady we're introduced to, the Lady Huffmaster, who lives across the way from this house that Onion and Cook are squatting in.
Nosy neighbor bitch.
Yeah, this nosy ass neighbor ass bitch is like, asking a bunch of questions, and Onion's like, bitch, you better chill.
And apparently what she says is that this woman that Cook is fucking is her husband's sister.
Yeah, it's her sister.
Or no, her husband's wife, I meant to say. So
her brother's wife.
Yeah, goddamn, I'm already drunk, dude. That's so funny. I've been drinking all day because of what day it is. Yeah, husband's wife. So Cook is fucking up just by fucking this random woman and making the neighbors upset before they even know that they're there to free all the slaves. Exactly. You know what I mean?
She's that's like, when my brother comes back, he is going to fuck shit up.
Yeah,
dude.
It's just unnecessary drama. And that kind of plants the seed for later. At first, Onion is dealing with that woman.
Yeah, and so then, at one point, they're like, there's a knock on the door, and Onion is like, oh, fuck, this lady's husband is home. And so, like, he goes and he tells her, like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Cook is fucking that bitch, like, while that scene is happening. Like, oh, my God. I'm sorry to use the derogatory term, but honestly, you're cheating on your fucking husband.
I mean, the lady was a bitch. She was racist, and she's a philanderer. She can go get fucked.
Yeah, dude. What a piece of shit. Yeah, she literally did. But, yeah, that's...
Yeah.
But,
so they're freaking out, and we're all thinking, oh, this is this lady's husband, come back to fucking wreck shit because his wife's fucking some abolitionist, and it's John Brown at the door, baby, which is almost just as bad.
Like, yeah, we were joking. Like, it's almost, I'd rather talk to like the woman I'm fucking's husband than fucking John Brown.
Yeah, like my pastor war general.
With my fucking pants around my ankles, who's like, this man is super Old Testament. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
And we've seen him just murder people impulsively. So it's like, no, I haven't been philandering. I haven't been. Oh my God, yeah.
So when John shows up, he's like...
And he's immediately like, these are not the quarters I requested. It's too close to the road and not close enough to the ferry, but it'll do. And then like the whole troop, all the troops arrive, and it's really cool when they all show up, you know what I mean?
John Brown brings his daughter, and Onion is just absolutely smitten.
I mean...
it seems like Onion is washed up on the Ivory Coast here. And it's just like, I ain't never seen a woman like this in my goddamn life.
But like for that era, she's a total sweetheart. She's teaching him the Bible and like teaching him like Shakespeare and all this.
Which I hope, and we're talking about the actress here, not however John Brown's daughter actually was in, whatever. Because it's like, we look at the history books, it's like, oh, his daughter was 15 during that. It's like, we're talking about the actress, you ass.
I'm sure she was still cute and nice. That's what we said.
Yeah, exactly. If we're talking attractiveness, we're talking about obviously the actress playing John Brown's daughter. Not John. You're not Googling a picture of John Brown's actual daughter.
And you can say someone is cute and not want to fuck them. I think you're fucking cute as hell. I don't want your dick in me.
Well, yeah, I've made a whole video about this. I've been over this. Jesus. Go watch my video on cuties, folks. It's great.
But so that's the thing is Onion bonds with what's her name? I can't remember the daughter's name.
Shit, I didn't write it down.
Yeah, well,
I think it was like Heather or something.
It was a white girl name. I won't be able to remember it.
Yeah, but Hannah or Emily or something.
It was something easy. But they totally bond, and then there's that scene where they try to give Onion a bath, and he, she's like naked right over there, and he's like trying not to look because it's that time period, and he's like, he gets those like over the shoulder side boob glances, and it's just like, that it's like the horniest this boy has ever been.
This is definitely the horniest episode of this show.
He's like 14 or 15 years old, and he's like crazy about this girl, and she's naked in the next room. I mean, I'm 33, and I'd be like raging hard in a situation. If I was like near a girl I liked who was taking a bath, I'd be like, oh my God.
I've actually had something like that happen. I don't know if I've told you this story before.
Yeah.
But so I was at this house show, right? And and this girl who's throwing the show was like kind of into me at the time, and So, like, I don't know if this was, like, before my band was supposed to play or after my band played or whatever, but I'm just, like, hanging out and drinking. And she got this pretty big house. And in her basement, she's got this giant bathroom with this fucking spa tub in it. And,
oh, man.
Yeah, and so, like, we're, like, down there, and it's, like, me, my buddy Nico, this girl, and one of her friends. And, like, we're in the bathroom, like, smoking a joint, and she's like, wait, Nelson, are you in there? And I was like, oh, fuck, because, like, I couldn't remember if she knew I smoked weed or not. And so I was just like, I was like, ah, shit. And so, like, I opened the door, and she came in, and, like, she was like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's a pretty cool house. And she was like, yeah, no, this tub is amazing. And then just turns it on, and we're just like, I'm sorry, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
And so she turns it on and like and fills it up and just fucking just drops trow, just fucking gets butt ass naked and
awesome.
Like hops in this tub, and her friend does the same thing, and they're just looking at me and my buddy Nico like,
well, yeah.
And we're just like, yeah.
You're gonna take that hint or not? You know? Like,
yeah, totally.
Oh,
and so like, we're all in there, and then like we're in there for like 5 minutes, and then this girl's phone rings because it's her house, and like where this house show is happening, and somebody's like, yeah, this band doesn't know where to put their shit.
She's supposed to be hosting, and she's in the fucking bathtub naked. That's so fucking funny. And they're
like, fucking, can you like, let's go? And so she's like, all right, and like hops out and leaves, and then her friend's just like I look at her friend and I look at Nico, I'm like, I'll go, and like before I can get up, she's like, no, I'll go. And then me and Nico are just like sitting there, and
then you're just
like,
two naked dudes in a tub.
Well, neither of us got naked. We just stripped down to our underwear. Like, yeah, like I'm shit.
That's why they didn't fuck you.
I had a reputation, all right? Yeah, and so like so we're just sitting there in this tub in our underwear, just like kind of having a laugh, like, well, that was an interesting series of events.
I fucked in a hot tub at a party once. It was me and this girl I was dating, and they like left us alone in the hot tub. And then so like we started getting busy, and people kept like poking their heads in randomly, like, oh, what are you guys doing? It's like, guys, you know what the fuck we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, it was really just fucking teenage parties, man. So anyway, so we were lucky enough to be teenagers that were allowed to fuck, so we just imagine what it's like to be Onion right now. Like, oh my god, they cannot see this boner. It'll compromise my entire persona around these people. They cannot see that I'm hard right now. Like, our poor boy cannot even admit that he's a guy, much less he's a guy who wants to fuck. Like, that's just...
man. Yeah, it was like, it's even funnier because they were doing that whole Shakespeare thing where she's just like, well, I love men, but if you were a guy...
They found a scene about how if they could, they'd marry her and all that shit. Like, that was,
Yeah.
It's good stuff. And then the fucking neighbor bitch bothers them again while they're doing that.
Yeah, she comes up, and basically she's kind of like the same time she comes by, John Brown's daughter talks to her, and basically she's like, this lady is like, well, Cook said, said something different than what you're telling me, so I don't know, buddy. And and so John Brown's daughter fucking snaps off. I was like, lady, you better get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
you better get.
She has a little bit of that, like, who her dad is moment. You know what I mean? Like, just she gets a little bit aggressive and scary for a sec, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
And then as soon as the lady leaves, she's like, oh, my dad would be so pissed. And like, Onion is like, dude, if she hugs me right now, I'm fucked. Because like he's apparently just rock hard because of that.
There was, this may be out of order, but there was that other scene where they're out reading they were reading the Bible or something. They were like,
that was right before the Shakespeare thing, and she was like, if you were a boy, I'd marry you.
And they kiss. They actually kiss, which is like, they like kissed for a sec.
I must have had my nose in my notes when that was happening.
Yeah. She like fucking grabbed him and kissed him, and then fucking what's his name?
George comes out and he's just like, yo, dude, your mustache is coming in. She doesn't know you're a dude. You're gonna get us all killed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if your secret comes out, it's gonna be bad fucking news, buddy. Like, so.
Yeah, and like, so basically, what happens next is where things get interesting, because there's a meeting between Frederick Douglass and John Brown about the plan on Harper's Ferry, and basically John explains everything to Frederick Douglass. Like, he shows him the maps, tells him everything, and Frederick Douglass is just like, "Yeah, dude, I don't know about all that."
The line was, it's something that I say a lot. He's like, I said what should have happened, not what could be done. Something like that.
Yeah,
like, what should happen and what could happen are two different things, you know? And that's, in the moment, I'm like, yeah, that's why you vote Biden, and because Bernie's not on the ticket. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, like, this was the We Fit Wednesday of scenes here, where it's just like, you're like, we should do that. Like, we can. And you're like, oh,
we
fuck.
can. Oh, we will then. Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man. Go watch We Fit Wednesday on IndiCon Games, folks.
We promise we'll make more of them soon.
If you watch them, we'll make more of them.
Yeah. It's been a stressful time. We can't work out right now.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm still not eating. Anyway.
Yeah.
So basically, Frederick Douglass is like, dude, I can't do this. Like,
yeah.
I really just, I don't want to die. That's my main thing. You know.
Oh, and we forgot to mention, it started with that whole montage where Frederick Douglass is like demonstrating how vain he is and how much he loves the camera and shit.
Yeah. It's like, I don't smile in my photographs because I am not happy. And we're like, that's where it started. That's where it started. Yeah. Like, we had that Leo DiCaprio meme of like, oh, that's where black people got it. You know. He was the
first fucking influencer. Just take pictures of me.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, he was just like, my words.
Listen to my cool words, but not my actions.
Yeah, and like the guy who plays Frederick Douglass is just knocking it out of the park all the time. Fuck, what's his name? Fuck, hold on. I'm looking it up. This is not the Computer Guys podcast, I promise.
Yeah, he is.
Shit.
He is fucking awesome. He does a really good job.
Yeah, David Diggs, that's his name.
Yeah,
that guy. I mean, he's just a fucking great actor. I've seen him in a bunch of shit. He's great.
He's badass. He's badass.
And it's Frederick Douglass. He carries the torch. But yeah, Frederick Douglass is like, I can't do this. I don't want to die. And he backs out of the plan, and reluctantly, his right-hand guy is like, you know what, dude? You've grown soft.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna go.
He's like, I guess I'm going with the old man then, and he settles up with John Brown and rides off with him. And John
Brown is heartbroken by this shit.
Yeah, just crying, dude. He can't believe himself.
It's just like his best friend just told him, you know, hey, you remember that summer abroad we were about to have? Yeah, well, my parents just got a divorce, so we can't go to Italy. And it's like losing.
It's like losing a huge potential ally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like, you know, the only modern equivalent I can think of is if when Obama was about to win the presidency, he was just like, you know what? It is Hillary's turn. And then nobody shows up to vote.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like if history had shaken out that way instead of the 8 years of Obama we got, we would be in a lot worse position right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, without that figurehead, without John being able to say, we got Frederick Douglass, guys. Frederick Douglass is on our side. He's losing a lot of legitimacy.
Yeah,
you know?
And like he's absolutely. Hold on, let me get my Love Island voice out for this. He was absolutely gutted by this. I tell you what. Yeah, you know, Freddie Douggs was like, "Hey mate, I thought I could, but I can't, mate." And he was absolutely gutted. And John, he's on his carriage, right, back to his flat, right, with his mates in the back. And you think, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do here? All right, that's enough of that. But,
I don't even know how to respond when you're doing that.
It's funny. Fucking Sydney was trying to drive, and I was just like screaming like British directions. I was like, "Go right through the car park here. Go around the building there, and then come up. Then boom, Bob's your uncle right there. We're at the Quick Trip." And she's like, I don't know what you're saying.
You sound so much like Carl Pilkington when you do that voice that I just want to be. I like revert to Ricky Gervais impression. Like all I can do is laugh and call you an idiot when you're talking like that. Like that's the all I can fucking do.
Listen to me.
You fucking numbskull.
Listen to this numpty. Oh man.
Anyway.
Yes. Jeez.
So
they get. It's like the wheels don't stop turning here, because after this they get back and you're thinking, well, what's John gonna do? And it's like before you can even think what John's gonna do, his daughter's like, Huffmaster fucking came by and she knows that we're all abolitionists and she's gonna call the sheriff and we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, the sheriff's gonna burn the place down. And then they start to get like excited about it, and Cook's like, why don't we just kill the sheriff? And that makes daughter Brown just start crying immediately, because she's like, no, I don't want to start killing innocent sheriffs. Like, come on.
And so John Brown is like, fuck it, we're going early.
We're doing it tomorrow. Yeah, we're going tomorrow. Like, he's like, we're just moving right in and doing the fucking plan. Isn't that the one thing the general told you not to do?
Exactly.
And he's just like, we have to. We got no choice. And that's when history's decided, right? And we're skipping that the rail master.
No, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
No, you're right. That happens right after this scene.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
while
John
they all
Brown,
start fighting,
John Brown's like, all right, we're gonna gather up our shit. We're going tomorrow. You go talk to the railman and tell him gather the folks because we're doing this shit tomorrow. And so Onion goes to the railman and he's like, hey, yo, so we gotta do this shit tomorrow. And the railman's like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah,
no.
He's incredulous. Like, no way.
And like the railman reluctantly comes around and gives Onion a password.
No, you got no choice, at
Yeah,
that point.
He gives Onion a password that will basically, get them more people to help them, with this plan. And so Onion gets back, and they're like, Onion, you're going with this pregnant lady and John Brown's daughter back to the homestead. And so Onion is so taken aback by that.
They're sending the women back home. He didn't even get to see the old man. So it's like,
and so they're going
when you're
back.
caught up in the moment and that one important thing just slips your mind.
Yeah, so they're going back, and they're singing, and like Onion has this realization of like, oh fuck, I forgot to tell him the password. And it's like either I run back and like risk my life to save John, or they're all gonna die. And like he's like, stop the
cart.
And
how do you live with that on your mind?
Exactly.
Like, oh my God,
what
a heady moment.
He stands up, and this is like if you saw me, I started cheering when this shit happened.
It was awesome. What a
Onion
cool moment, dude.
Gets up and he's like, I don't know if I'll ever see this girl again. I'm about to run and maybe die trying to save the man who's taken me. And fucking rips his shirt open, shows his man chest, and is like, I'm a man. Fucking plants one on her and just dips, dude. Just fucking takes off down the road.
He says, I'm a man. I may never see you again, and just gives her a big kiss that she's totally into, by the way. She like leans into it. It's like she's like stoked. She's like, oh my God, I knew I loved this guy. And like
it's like that part in The Lion King where after
when
Simba,
the lions start to fuck and you're just stoked about it.
No, shut up. This is don't be gross, okay? that part where Simba like talks to Rafiki and is like, you got to go back, and like Simba's like, yeah, I'm going back, and they're like playing that.
Oh, totally,
and like he's running back, and Rafiki's like, go.
Yeah.
Like that was.
I'm totally hearing that in my head. Yeah,
that's what I was feeling while I was watching that, because I'm like, fucking get it. Like,
it was an awesome scene. Just totally fucking.
And that closed out the episode, and that leaves us to think that the next episode is gonna be the Harper's Ferry episode. Yeah, which is gonna be fucking crazy.
That's like what he's known for. Like if you anytime I mention it to my parents, they're like, "Oh yeah, John Brown, Harper's Ferry." I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course. You guys know the story."
Next week is going to be crazy.
I'm stoked.
So yeah, there's your Good Lord Bird recap, and now let's continue to to talk about what we hope reality is by the time this comes out.
Can we do like a quick 2-minute break and then come back to that?
Yes, we can.
This coffee is shooting right through me with all this beer that's going with it.
Well,
so
yeah, you take...
One sec, bro. One sec.
Shit. So we'll be right back with the rest of the Indistinct Conversation podcast. And, we'll talk about some stuff. Oh, did you guys see Xander's ass crack just now? Look at it! Oh, dude! Oh, man, I'm gonna tell him about that when we get back. We'll be right back after this. Yeah. Hey, guys, we're back. Oh, wait, I don't think my mic's on.
Oh, shit.
Now my mic's on. Hey, guys, we're back. Welcome back to the podcast. Yeah.
Very minimalistic design on the background.
Oh, I mean,
time.
there was a lot going on before, and I guess this is like the chill part of it.
I'm into that though.
It was pretty intense for a second there.
I'm trying to be chill right now.
Yeah, I mean,
things aren't looking good politics wise.
I mean, so far, I'm not even gonna talk about numbers and where things are right now, because we're literally in the future.
It's early.
Yeah, we're in the future, and we both know what we think is gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not hopeful for a blue wave or whatever.
No.
But I would love for it to happen. But I think I'm so shell shocked from 2016 that I won't let myself believe that it's possible.
That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of how I felt back then. I was like, there's no possible way this guy is gonna fucking win, and then he did, and my fucking whole world fell apart.
That's the thing.
Literally.
That's the difference between I feel like minorities and a lot of people, because a lot of minorities were just like, I don't think he's gonna win, but if he does, more fucked up shit's happened. So
Yeah. Yeah. I remember watching those debates and being like, even Republicans aren't going to vote for this guy, and it's like,
well, I don't think they are now. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them aren't now, because this is literally just a death cult now.
Yeah, there's a lot of those just financial conservatives who are not into it anymore because he hasn't done well for them.
It's fun, with the tax cuts. Those memes of every dude that makes $35K a year freaking out about tax cuts.
Yeah,
dude,
fucking.
Shut up, you're fine.
Yeah, it's not gonna fucking touch you, you dumb fuck.
Yeah.
And the tax cuts just went to fucking millionaires. If you don't make $500,000 a year, then I don't want to hear you cry.
Exactly.
And fucking. So yeah, it literally is only racists voting for him, but there's a lot of crazy racists in this country, and they're doing a lot to shut everything down. And a lot of my leftist friends are still doing the whole "there's no difference between the two parties," which that puts me up the fucking wall. Understand why you might think that.
Wait, hold on. Can you see the stream? It looks like something's fucking up with it.
Wait,
never mind. It's back. Are you logged in at your house to the?
I did for a second, and then
okay. I was like, why is it kicking me out of the stream?
Yeah. I was checking it because you wanted me to look at it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I was like, what the fuck is? Yeah, it's because we're both logged into the same account. Internet, folks, it's crazy.
Because we're geniuses. Yeah. We work real hard. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I think a lot of level-headed people are gonna go over to Biden, but when you see the Trump, I wrote in my notes the Trump assault trucks, these people who were literally running people off the road and shutting down highways in New Jersey and shit like that. And literally everybody I know who voted today had some dude in a pickup truck at their polling station in an InfoWars t-shirt just harassing people.
I'm not surprised.
Who are you voting for? Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't go today. That's why everybody's been encouraged to vote early, so you don't have to deal with this kind of stuff.
Well, and the other rumor is Trump is going to try to do what he can to make all those early votes just not count. So it's well,
that is absolutely wild. What the fuck?
Is this the first you're hearing of that? There's so many.
Is that legal? Can you do that?
Well. It is because they run the courts. That's the problem. There was a place in Texas. It just got blocked today, thank God. But it was 130,000 votes in the most liberal part of Texas they were just going to say, like, no, those aren't valid because they were in a special drop-off box because of COVID-19, and that's not legal. And the fucking Supreme Court, which is Republican, somehow was able to say, no, that's totally legal. Stop trying to limit democracy.
Yeah, that's
is not what I expected.
That's absolutely fucking wild, dude.
No, that's what all the pundits I watch have been saying, that's going to be Trump's plan. Is if it looks like he's ahead, he's going to declare himself the winner. And then it's just going to be like...
Oh, yeah, I have seen that where he's like, yeah, if you're ahead, are you just going to declare victory? Have you seen that clip that came out where, like, he was on, like, it sounded like he just barred the fuck out?
Oh, he always sounds like that, though. He always sounds so fucking high and stupid. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, it's like that's fine for us, but we're not the fucking president.
And when you and I watch him, we're like, that guy sounds like he's on drugs. When there are other 50 and 60-year-old people all across the country who are also addicted to painkillers watching Fox News, he's speaking their language. Do you know what I'm saying? They understand each other. And it's, you know, like when I talk to a stoner about weed, we get it. We have all this jargon and slang and shit like that. When Trump is just rambling incoherently on fucking muscle relaxers, all those fucking old people at home on disability are like, that's fucking right.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
I agree with what that goes.
Well, they're all liars and criminals on the left, and Antifa's burning down the cities, and you know they just keep repeating that bullshit in their head over. They don't look at facts.
Yeah, it's like they haven't left their house in 10 years, but they're worried about Antifa. It's like, dude.
You know, they were teenagers in the 1960s, and they think they understand life right now. Like fucking Jesus Christ, dude. So it's I mean, again, we won't know for weeks after this post goes up. So it's like we can't.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably gonna end up doing another podcast like this week, depending on how it goes.
No, we will. No, because there's gonna be more weird shit going on. I mean, we already got Trump. We already got these dudes, you know, attacking people. We got fucking. Shit's wild, man. Fucking.
Yeah, this is fucking nuts.
I actually turned off Majority Report because they were just like bullshitting with each other, and they've been streaming for like 9 hours straight now, so it's like holy shit, dude.
Like after we finish this podcast, like I have a few videos I want to show you, and we're probably just gonna do like some reaction stuff. We'll maybe play some Smash Bros or something. But
I'm into that.
Yeah,
because I just need at this point, we won't know tonight, and it's just like
That's tonight. I mean,
I have some other just weird shit to talk about. Just some topics, if you want to riff for a minute too.
Let's run.
We're nowhere near close yet.
No, yeah, we're only like fucking.
The most absurd thing that I read today was GameStop is having a contest for their employees, for like who makes the best TikTok video, right?
Fucking hell! This really is the sunken place.
One of the prizes is more hours at work.
That's actually kind of hilarious.
It's not it's not more money. It's not a gift card. It's the opportunity to work more.
That makes me think of that fucking Burger King commercial I saw where they're like, if you order our 5 for $5, you might win a PS5. And I'm like, imagine being the guy the guy working at Burger King that just has to hand over a PS5 to some asshole who spent $5 on burgers.
Well, and yeah, they don't do it. They don't do it for real. They give you the cup that you like peel off the code. And then and then you have to like pretend to be happy for this bullshit customer in front of you.
Yeah, I'm saying like even for like the commercials that they do and where they make it look real, with people like getting like a PS5 at Burger King. Like, imagine if you're working that day and some camera crew comes in and they're just like, yeah, so here's a PS5. We're actually giving it to this guy, but we want you to hand it to him. And it's just like, well, I got they're customers. It's like, come on, we're not gonna pay you for being in this commercial, but hand this guy a PS5.
Yeah, society literally treats food service and customer service and retail workers. They treat them like fucking servants, dude. It's fucking disgusting.
Hopefully, by the time this comes out, my next video is out. It's a video about food. Well, not as much about food as much as it is about like cooking.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, how like you go back and like you rewatch a movie and like just from like like sometimes nostalgia will give you like a full ass like thesis to write.
Oh yeah.
Like I rewatched Ratatouille and was just like, God damn, this movie fucking hits, dude. Like
it does a great job of getting like the importance of food across.
Yeah, like
you know
I don't
want
to give too much away about this video, but like it just fucking like it fucking hit some like it grabbed me right by the member berries and was just like, you remember when you wanted to be a chef? You remember? Just like, God damn it, really? Yeah.
That whole thing where the food critic tastes the food and like his flashback to his mom's house and he's a child.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
That is so like that is such a one of the few moments where like animation really captures an emotion for me is like that. You know what I mean? Like that literally is what it's like to eat just amazing food.
Exactly,
and,
dude.
You know.
Like it's like, you know, a dish that does that for me is like good like baked mac and cheese. That shit'll bring me home, dude. Like holy shit.
Well, that's part of why I like making spaghetti sauce so much. Because my mom made pretty good spaghetti sauce when I was a kid, and you know. Yeah. As soon as I was living alone on my own, it was like, I need to fucking have my red sauce, man. That's my comfort food. You know what I mean? Like,
see, it's weird because pasta is like that for me, but on like a later point. Like, fucking, I love, like, you know, like my parents didn't make a bunch of Italian food when I was younger, but like when I was living on my own, it's like that was all I could afford for a minute. And I got really good at like making pasta. And so it's like whenever I like, it's like sometimes, you know, if it's like, me making pasta, you know, I'm, you know, if I'm not just making it to make it, I'm, you know, making it on one end of the spectrum or the other of like I'm doing well or I need to pick me up, because if I'm doing well, you make a good, you make some good pasta and you share it with everybody. That shit,
that's like
it keeps you
celebration
grounded.
feast.
Yeah, fucking, you're feeding everybody. And it's like if you're on,
it's like that one party I had where you were there.
Yeah, that was like one of the first times we hung out, like outside of like a show. Was me and Sydney coming to your pasta party,
the fucking spaghetti party.
Yeah,
that
dude,
was such a good time. That was so much fun.
Yeah, me and her still talk about that sometimes. But like the other end is like if I'm like, you know, feeling down, and you know I make a good good pot of pasta. It's like it reminds me of like those times when I was like, you know, living on my own, and I'm like sitting in my apartment, and it's like eating a good bowl of pasta, and you look around and you're like, you know, as worried as I am, I got this. You know, it's like I've got my place. I know where I am. I'm gonna go to work.
You can manage.
Yeah, and it's like it gets you through it, and so it's like fucking. That's, you know, I don't go into as much detail as I am right now because I didn't want to make the video like too sentimental or like too cheesy or anything, but like
sure,
you know, I wanted to make it more about cooking than like food as a whole, because like food can fucking bring you back, man. Like it's powerful shit.
It's you know, I was joking with Sydney on Halloween night, like, I just don't really believe in magic or whatever. But it's like, if I did, it would be food or music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like something that just has that profound impact on you. You know what I mean? Like that can just completely change your mind. Like how many, like it's such a cliche that like someone is pissed off or an animal wants to bite you and you throw them a steak or, you know, we'll tell your dad that you got an F on your paper after he eats dinner. Like things like that. You know what I mean?
It's like that's it can literally fucking,
we're not doing it right after work. We're gonna let him eat this steak first and then like tell him about it.
Speaking of Sydney, like her and I both, you know, mutually understand that sometimes we both get a little hangry. You know,
sure. Yeah.
It's like if we've been hanging out like all day, and like we just like fucking start disagreeing about something, we just kind of like look for a second. It's like, do you want to get food? Like let's go to Taco Bell. Like fucking
grabbing food is like the basic maintenance of the relationship.
Yeah,
that was like
she always talks about like food is my love language, and I don't know what the fuck that means, but I like to eat. So you know.
Yeah, no, that's exactly no. That was my ex and I had that in a really big way. Like we'd have fights, and I'd just be like, "Should we just go get sushi and figure it out after that?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "Yes, we absolutely should." You know.
And like some people hear that and think you're like shelving the problem, and it's like, no, you go get a good meal. And you guys both gotta sit there and you're enjoying your meal.
Think it out in your own head. Talk about things that make you happy and remind you that you like this person, and then discuss the problem. You know what I mean? Like,
or in some cases, you're enjoying a good meal, and you're thinking, and you're feeling good, and you both look up at each other, and you realize, man, that was really stupid. And like
whatever was making you mad isn't that big a deal.
Yeah, and like you guys exchange that look, and you look back at your food, and you're like, yeah, let's just. This you know it's like like you're not shelving the problem, you're solving it in a way in just a different way. Like some people
just handling it.
Some people are the type that like want to talk about things like until it gets solved, and I feel like those are the kind of people that don't understand why some people need to walk away sometimes, you know.
That was me and my ex, dude. That was the whole thing was like we'd have fights that would get pretty intense, and I would have to be like, okay, you're like yelling at me now, and I can't fucking do that. My ears hurt, you know. And I was working at Guitar Center. I can't come home and get yelled at. Like, oh my god. And it's like, I'm like, let's just take a 10-minute break and chill out and talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'd close the door, and she would just keep screaming at me through like the door to the bathroom.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's, you know. And worse than that on a few times.
If we're gonna normalize anything, I'd say normalize dealing with shit in different ways. Like,
or taking deep breaths and like moving away from it, re-examining it. Prioritizing your goals, because nobody's getting mad never looks good.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, like I remember once me and my ex got into a fight, like while we had like people over. And
scary.
Yeah,
scary.
It's like, well, because like what happened was like her and my buddy's girlfriend, like went longboarding around our apartment complex, and like they were gone for like a half hour, and I was drunk, so I was a little bit worried because like, the two of these girls combined are like probably 150 pounds, like these are two small girls out in an apartment complex, at like fucking 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just boy. And so like I go out.
I've had nights like that.
Yeah, it's like, me and my buddy go out and like, I was wondering why like he was like, nah, dude, chill, it's fine. And then I kind of realized it was because he was cheating on his girlfriend the whole time.
So, cool.
He was pretty checked out. Yeah, so
he's like, I actually hope she dies.
So we go out there and we're like,
that would make my plans so much easier if I don't have to break up with this bitch.
So we go out and like we like look like up and down the street and we don't see him, and so like we walk like around the corner and like we see him coming down, and I'm like, oh cool, like I was wondering when you guys were gonna come back, and she was like, why'd you come looking for us? And like I was just like, because it's late, and like she took like offense to that, and it was just like, I fucking take care of myself, and like I was like, I was like,
well, fuck me for caring.
Yeah, I was like 21 or 22, so I like was trying to be like, because I care about you and don't want you to get kidnapped and die, but like at the same time I'm like, don't be mad at me, and so I'm just like, it just goes badly, and like we just start yelling at each other, and like I catch myself and realize like, oh, my friends are still just like sitting in the living room. And like, I just like stop and I'm like, fucking, it's just like, yeah, my bad. I was worried.
Yeah.
I was being a dick. And like, she's still mad at me, but like the fight's over, and it's just like, she'll stop being mad eventually. But I've waved my white flag and said, yes, you're right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so it's like, after that, you just gotta, wait for shit to cool down.
Yeah, definitely been there several times with different women at different times.
Yeah, relationships are fucking hard.
That's the first girl I kind of had that moment with. She like she said she was going to Atlanta to see a friend, and then I didn't hear from her for like 2 days. And
guy friend.
Yeah,
okay.
and I was and I was calling her like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, did something happen?" And she came home super pissed and accusing me of cheating on her.
Jeez.
And I was like, "Oh, it's one of these things. Okay, I know what's going on here." So it's like, it's funny how giving a fuck about someone can just like blow up in your face in weird ways.
Yeah,
you know
but we're
I mean?
not saying don't care about people. I was just having a laugh at Xander because he was like, I think I need to get out of my emotions a bit. I was like,
no, yeah, because I'm too in them.
I was like, that's the most man shit I've ever heard. Like, no, fucking
no, I've been
stay in your emotions, but like you learn, it's like, fuck it, dude. You haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, have you?
I never have.
You need to watch that shit, dude. It'll help you. It'll help you handle your emotions because
that's the one where the bald Chinese boy fucks the blue aliens. I love how mad you are. This is so good. You just zoom in on Nelson's face right now. Just make your head as big as possible.
I'm not even here anymore. I'm not even here.
I've wanted to watch it. I see a lot of memes about it.
Yeah, you should watch it because like there's a lot of stuff in there about keeping your emotions and like basically.
No, I'm not saying lose my emotions.
Well, yeah,
but I'm saying control them.
Yeah, exactly. Like you keep them, but you don't neuralize them or anything. Like you don't like push them down. Like you.
That's my point.
Yeah, it's like you just find a healthy outlet to keep control of them because you and I are both real emotional guys, but at the same time, what I didn't see coming is that I would be the logic guy between the two of us.
Well, I wouldn't say that all the way.
Okay, yeah, not on all things. I'm not logical on everything, but as far as
I do agree though that and it has a little bit to do with kind of where my head's been at and kind of where I want my head to go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get back to a place where I feel good enough that I'm not fucking on the verge all the time.
I know,
you know
and that's how we got to where we are. Where like I feel like I'm the guy that's always saying pick your battles because I feel like
it's just been such a weird era with like fucking the whole recently single thing with the whole insane election season that we've had. The Democratic primaries were like a fucking clown show.
Yeah,
and
so
that was happening while we were like rebuilding the basement, and then it was just fucking Donald Trump and Biden has been another completely insane clown show. And
it's crazy. I wish this was the 100th episode.
It feels like it should be, right?
I mean, if we were on track and got episodes out every week, then we'd probably be there by now.
if we were like, oh, we're almost there, we need to crank it up a notch. Yeah, maybe.
But me.
That's why it blows my mind.
I don't like
working. Yeah, well, we've just we're just doing this because we do it, and it's it's a crazy time. It's hard for me to get out of bed days lately.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
same.
been fucking. It's like to just get up and like get yourself caught up with the news, and it's like, oh, dudes in pickup trucks are knocking people off the road for having BLM flags.
Yeah.
Like cool news. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, we broke another record on COVID. Cool. More people are sick than ever. Awesome.
Yeah, it's
oh my God, it's a stressful time.
It
man.
is.
So
it really is, and like. I don't know, the fact that we've been able to do what we have done, I feel like, I'm proud of it. It's like
Well, and you know what? No matter what happens with this election, the result is going to be the same for the next 4 fucking years. Yeah,
it's like I don't think in the next 4 no matter what happens,
I think the problem has been like wondering what's going to be normal, and
that's the thing.
We're about to find out. We're gonna find out in the next month or so. We're gonna find out what the new normal is, and then we'll get used to it. And I've kind of resolved either way that no matter who's in charge of the country or how many fucking Nazis are emboldened or whatever, like the goal is just to make our situation as good as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And regardless of who wins, I've like kind of like my New Year's resolution is like be more selfish and fucking stop stressing about all this shit.
Yeah.
Because the last fucking couple years of like, just like being so like involved in politics and like boosting Bernie posts and like, I tried to do some phone banking. I did a little bit of everything, and I got fucking so involved in this, and I am so burned out. And fucking, it's like I'm just gonna start focusing on having fun, dude.
Yeah, and like I kind of
everyone's gonna fucking die.
I kind of feel bad sometimes when like you tell me about like all this like shit that you run into with like these people that you used to be friends with that like are fucking racist and like Nazis and stuff, and I'm like, I tell you like, hey, dude, that's like, like, because for me, it's like I've had plenty of white friends where it's like I find out, down the line, it's like we kind of fall out of touch, and then I run into them again, and they're like some like racist frat boy asshole, or like I find out they have like racist parents or something, and I just kind of
fucking garbage.
I've grown accustomed of just like throwing that to the wind, of just being like, you win some, you lose some, and I feel bad sometimes when I tell you like, dude, down the line, like cutting these people off, you're gonna feel better. And like I feel bad for that because it's like, the way that I'm saying it is kind of telling you to take the emotion out of it and kind of look to the future and like, be selfish like you're saying.
And I do. Like I've got, I do just fucking I tell those dudes to fuck off, and I never talk to them again.
Like I know you do. I'm not saying like you. Yeah.
Like racist friend by the Specials is like one of like I would consider that one of my like anthems.
I mean, our first episode on YouTube was me just being like, well, got a racist friend, let's burn that bridge. Peace,
dude, and that's so, and it's just so fucked up that like everything's getting that divided, but at the same time, if you have the capacity to separate yourself from the conflict and just focus on your own world, you'll be doing a lot to make your world a better place, right? That's kind of where my head is at.
I mean, yeah, because it's like for me, I look like the way I look at what we're doing is we're trying to spread our positivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hold on, I got a burp going. Oh, there it is. I was worried that wasn't going to come up. But like
that Miller Lite, buddy.
But it's like the way we do things, it's like we put out like all the stuff we put out, from like the podcast to my commentary videos to the gaming videos. It's like, this is stuff to be like, if you want to feel a little bit better, check this out. It's like you might learn something along the way. You might get a little, it's like, there are a couple of commentary videos I've done that might piss you off, but like,
and we'll vent about bad shit. We'll get that shit out of our system, but we do it in
but like at the end of the day,
most of the time.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like
we post the positive ones. We don't post the ones where I'm just being an asshole the whole time.
I mean, we've brought it up on the podcast before. There were some scrapped episodes that have just been like, yeah, we can't put this out.
Xander's drunk. He's upset.
There's when we got into a fight on air, and I was just like, this is good that we fun, yeah, though. No, it was fun because I watched it back like before we scrapped it, and I was like, this is intense. And I was just like, nobody needs to see this, but this is great stuff. Because like, it made me think of like, anytime like I see like a famous person like post a vlog where like, where like some dramatic shit happens and they're like crying into the camera and like, my life is so fucked up, or like it's like you see some crazy shit happen. It's like that kind of shit. I feel like you keep that to yourself, because it's like keeping it to yourself makes you grow from it more. Where it's like, if we would have just taken those episodes and put them out, we wouldn't have had any growth. We would have just, it would have been like, that's out, fuck it, listen to it if you want to. We're not going to grow from it. But like,
it would have been like story canon.
Yeah, but it's like,
it would be like,
yeah, and it's like, we don't need that in our canon. It's like, people know we're real people, and people know that we disagree sometimes. Like, I'm a 25-year-old black man, and you're a 33-year-old white dude. Like, fucking obviously you're going to disagree about some stuff sometimes. So like,
as someone who can barely talk to other 33-year-old white guys, it's like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just like,
Jesus. Most dudes who match my status are fucking worthless, dude. Oh my fucking God.
I had a thought earlier this week of like, this podcast, it's us, having some fun and like grounded conversations and sharing stories and being funny and doing whatever we want, but I never wanted this podcast to turn into like therapy. You know what I mean?
But in a cool way, it has been.
I mean, yeah, it has, but it's like
we tackle everything that happens.
Yeah, but it's like I've also been to therapy, and like some of the stuff you go through,
it's personal for a reason.
Yeah, and it's just like,
I'm not ready to let you in on my darkest secrets.
I mean, there's shit that we talk about. There's shit that we talk about off the podcast when we're just sitting around drinking, like stories that we won't share on this podcast. Because it's just like, yeah, dude, that's like, stuff you talk to your friends about, stuff you talk to your therapist about, and it's just like, as much as I love and appreciate everybody.
We're not famous enough for that to be the podcast.
No, not even that. It's like, as much as I love and appreciate anybody and everybody that listens to this show, I don't want it to be like a therapy thing, because I don't want people to think that they know me better than I know me. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like, if this,
that whole parasocial relationship.
It's like, if this podcast became me sharing, all of my stories and all of my thoughts and all of my mental shit, then it's like, I mean, as much as I, love that anybody would listen to this, I wouldn't want somebody to hear that and think like, okay, I get it. I get them. And, if they ever meet me, just be like, hey, man, so what was that like in, like, 2014 when you did that one thing? And it's just like, holy shit, dude. Whoa. Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, that's, and that's not me, like, saying that I'm gonna, like, hold back on this podcast, because I fucking don't. I talk about whatever the fuck I want to on this podcast. But, like, it's to a point where, like, I've been podcasting for so long, and I've shared so many stories that, if people know, like, as much as I've shared, I feel like it's still on a level that somebody would want to sit next to me and have a drink and know more, instead of sitting down next to me and buying me a drink and asking me about my life. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel that. But, I feel like that's just part of, like, being a public figure, which we barely are.
Well, yeah, but, and that's why like I accept, all the stuff that I've shared, but it's like, at the same time, if anybody's ever going to come up to me and talk to me, I'd rather them, want to know more about, me as a person, rather than be like, hey, so I remember you talked about that really traumatic thing. Like, what was that like?
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? It's just
my God.
Fuck. That's why it's like, when I, when I moved back to Marietta and, like, restarted.
That's why I try to keep my stories to, like, that time I fucked in a hot tub, or that time I got arrested for smoking a joint.
Even when I restarted,
cool guy stuff.
When I moved back to Marietta and restarted the podcast, it's just like, I wasn't talking about my ex, like, at all, because, like, I was just like, yeah, no, I'm getting over that, and I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast, because if I talk about it on the podcast, I might say something that I wanted to say but shouldn't broadcast, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, now I'm at a point where I'm comfortable talking about, things.
Right,
like,
same. It's like, everything that I need to say has been said.
Exactly, because it's like she knows, where I'm at. And it's to the point where I'm not going to fucking share everything, but if there's like a funny story that I want to share, I'm going to fucking share it. Yeah. So that's, yeah.
Yo, real quick, just to give an update. North Carolina is reporting 65 Joe Biden, 33% Donald Trump.
I didn't see that coming.
North Carolina? That's a good sign.
Wave your shirt around your head. Say it.
North Carolina! Yo, as a teenager in Utah, the fucking jocks the jocks were singing that song all the fucking time. And I'm like, you guys are in Salt Lake City. You've never been to North Carolina. You don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But they would just do it. They would just do it anyway. They didn't even fucking care.
I mean, the election's looking good, but at the same time, we're coming from the future right now, and honestly, we might still be live once all this is over. But like, holy shit. Oh man.
Well, there's another county that just kind of reported the opposite.
So. I mean, I'm looking at CNN and Google results, and Google results are actually a lot faster than CNN, which is funny.
Yeah. Of course.
But yeah. Oh man, do you have anything else that you want to ramble on, or do you want
to? So many things, dude.
Let's go.
Let's see.
Dude, yeah, I don't know how we got into relationship stuff and we went from food to relationships and just ran.
Oh, we're just sad boys. That's all it is.
It's funny because I don't know if this made it on air for the last episode of the Punk Black podcast, but me and Colt were talking about my electronic music and like why I don't like perform a lot of it live, and it's like, yeah, because I made a lot of that when I was really depressed. So performing it live, I feel like would like even some of the stuff that's like pretty hype.
It's hard to play a song that means something to you.
I mean, even the stuff that's pretty hype, I feel like 2 songs later, it's really gonna bum you out. So,
right. And fucking, that's I was in World's Greatest Dad for a while, and I literally asked to join that band because I loved the songs so much. Like, they just hit me in a certain way.
Oh, yeah, Talking to Girls is still a jam, dude.
That song is so good, but, like, because they kind of kicked me out and they were kind of dicks about it, like, it hurts me to, like, play that song now.
Well,
like,
yeah,
I still have the riff.
As a friend of mine who got kicked out of a band by other people who are friends of mine, I'm still just like,
it just feels weird.
There is a weird feeling about it, and like,
and they weren't like chill about it either. Like, I don't talk to them anymore. Yeah, like, we're not friends anymore.
And like, it's funny that you bring that up because they just,
I must have done something to offend them, and I don't know what that is, and I feel bad to this day.
It's funny that you bring that up because they just put out a new music video, and I saw
power to them. I mean him no ill will.
Yeah, I saw that like Maddie's the only like original member left, and I was just like, oh, this.
It's her
I know.
band.
It's just like it just always bums me out to like see a band that I knew of at the beginning, and then like see them like 4 or 5 years later, just completely gutted and like refinished and all this stuff, and it's like all power to them. Like, I'm glad they're making stuff. Like the music video they put out is great. The song's great.
Yeah,
it's just
she's got a goal and she wants to get there, and
it's just like as people.
I'm glad I was part of it when I was a part of it.
Yeah,
but it's like, but it's like that's just like. I would still listen to their music. I still do sometimes, but like when I'm playing guitar and I accidentally play that riff, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like when you see a picture of the girl you just broke up with, you're like, you just get that little tinge in your heart.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
I saw like some girl that I'm friends with on Facebook shared like a Facebook memory from like her at this convention with one of my exes, and I was just like,
oh yeah, oh,
I was like, oh
yeah.
It's just like, because it's like, because like we've got each other like blocked, and like that's not my decision, and so it's like whenever she like pops up, it's just like, the fuck. you know, because it's like from somebody else. So just like, I shouldn't see this, but like this is weird.
Yep, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. And when I say, you know, we have each other blocked, not my decision, it's like, you know, people deal with breakups in different ways, and I guess our way of dealing with it was never seeing me again, which is fine. And, you know, and the thing is, I actually prefer that with most of my exes, that we just, because like a lot of my serious relationships go on for like years, and it's just like, I don't want to like personally I don't want to deal with it myself, of like seeing somebody that like I was super close to for years just become another somebody to me. And so like I don't even want to know what somebody else would have to deal I don't even want to know what somebody else would have to deal with doing something like that. So it's just like, if we never see each other again, you know, if you make the call before I do, then that's totally fine with me. I'm not going to seek you out, you know, and look for, you know, some sort of closure that I've already got. Yeah. Like,
yeah, I'm like that with too many of my exes, and I kind of learned not to be like recently. It's like there were a few people who like we would randomly text each other and like have decent pushing more and more of them out of it lately. What happened?
Stream died for a second, but hold on. Stream died. Hold on 1 second. You're still recording, right?
Yeah, I still am.
All right, yeah, we're back. Okay, cool. I don't know how much the stream missed, but I'm glad I've been recording all of this on my computer.
We can salvage it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So one more cool thing. I'm tired of talking about relationships and shit. Fucking, dude. Animal Crossing. All Halloween, I've been growing pumpkins, and I've got all this pumpkin furniture. Guess what's growing now? Fucking mushrooms, bro.
Oh, I was about to say turkeys.
Mushrooms. So I got mushroom lamps going. I'm gonna have mushroom chairs and tables. Oh
dude,
my God,
a mushroom chair?
Just mushrooms and pumpkins like crazy, dude. Just everything's gonna be mushrooms and pumpkins. It's gonna be
you're like a regular David S. Pumpkin over here.
Like those psychedelic like 70s paintings where there's like a toad on a mushroom talking to a gnome, and then there's like a wizard in the background. Like that's gonna be my life in Animal Crossing from now on.
Yeah, I feel like if things ever go well for us, we're just gonna go full on hermit mode.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we're gonna buy land in like Canada. Dude. And it's like we'll be neighbors, but we'll be like 5 miles away from each other as neighbors.
We're gonna fucking barter. Like, dude, my cabbages came in great this year. You want to swap some turnips? What's up? You want to talk about this? You know?
Yeah, I just grew a nice crop of chilies.
Just like bragging about our stew recipe this year, man. Fucking
my herb garden is fucking out of control now.
You remember my goat Miranda? Yeah, she's delicious, dude. Do you want a few cuts of jerky off of her? Fucking, I can't wait, dude. I cannot wait. If the whole rest of the world is going to be on fire, we might as well just do that.
Exactly. Like, if you like this podcast, you should support us so that we can one day have this dream.
So we can go live on a private farm somewhere and build a fence that keeps you motherfuckers away from us.
But you'll still get the podcast. It'll be fine.
We'll still send out transmissions.
Yeah, we'll let you know that we're alive and that we still care, because we're always going to care.
We'll always love y'all, everybody. But there's new some hackers dug into the Mortal Kombat 11 update that's about to come out.
Wait, the Rambo one?
Yeah, and so we know about Melina, Rain, and Rambo, and it's looking like, based on what these dudes found, Smoke and Ermac are coming out next.
Okay, hello. Now you've got my
hello, right? Like that's what I'm talking about, dude. Give me some Smoke and some Ermac and MK11.
Yeah, I'd love.
Oh yeah, dude. I am so ready. Oh, dude. Especially if they do what they did before and like add some storyline to it, that'd be pretty fucking badass, dude. Except
Rambo. They can keep Rambo. I don't need Rambo.
Well, yeah, they're just doing that for dads, you know. And he does look fun to play, but I felt the same way about Terminator and RoboCop, and it's like as soon as I had him in
RoboCop sucks, dude.
RoboCop is garbage to play. Terminator is a little bit fun to play, but RoboCop is fucking trash, dude.
Yeah, Terminator can be fun sometimes, but yeah, RoboCop
he's too slow. He's so fucking slow. I don't know how anyone plays video games.
Oh shit,
that
hold
way.
on. Shit. Sorry, I was checking something.
You're good.
Wait, shit. Okay.
Come on.
All right, never mind.
All right, we're good.
Shut up. Go on about Rambo if you want.
I'm just I don't know. I was actually going to go on a little bit about if it's Ermac or it. They said it could be Smoke and Ermac, but it could be one or the other. You know, it looked like either or. If it's Ermac, that would be kind of interesting because they kind of hinted that Ermac is the soul of Sindel's ex-husband from before Shao Kahn, and they made her evil and revealed that she was behind killing him in the first place. So I'd love to see an Ermac revenge arc where he kills Sindel. That would be fucking rad. But that's just
pretty interesting.
That's just me geeking out. That's like comic book nerds have their comics. I have fucking Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. All right, so that's I don't know. I've always loved the plot of Mortal Kombat. That's
how I feel about Star Wars. Unfortunately, I love Star Wars.
I was big on Star Wars too, and I've kind of fallen out of love recently. I know.
But you'll fall right back into love if you start watching The Mandalorian, because season 2 of The Mandalorian just started, and boy, it is so good.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. I need to. I mean, I'm torn right now because I never watch Netflix, but my whole family is like on my Netflix account, and it's like
not watch Netflix. What the fuck?
You know what? Shit, that's kind of funny. I didn't even mean to bring this up, but after y'all left the other day and we watched that, what's his name, that creepy ass dude's video about cuties.
Oh, Mr. Girl.
Dude, so I fired up Cuties just to see how much of it.
Oh no!
No, listen. I watched it until they started being too sexy. It's about 30 minutes of actual like, oh, this girl has a hard life in a religiously oppressed society. Like she's got these moms that are super, conservative and like smack her around and shit. And then it's like, and kitty porn. And then it's like, oh my god, it's like. So, like, I understand why there are people arguing that it's a coming-of-age story, but it's like, as soon as it starts, it's like, ah! Like, it's just so egregious, and it's
I mean, there are also pornos with really, like, front-loaded storylines.
Sure, and so, that was literally, I, like, watched it, kind of half-watched it for, like, a half hour, and then it's like, I look at the screen, I'm like, oh, and just off, and just, like...
God.
Yeah, and just I don't need to see anymore. I get it. I get the point. I get it. You know what? I'm done. And
shit,
so that's my hot take on that shit. I don't know if you want to patch that on in a sequel video or something, but fucking that's the only thing I've used Netflix for in a long time. I mostly just watch YouTube.
Well, that's not a good look. I gotta tell you, Xander, that's not.
I know. It's like, oh shit, FBI. I need to watch this shit. I need to watch like the whole BoJack Horseman like tomorrow.
Go binge some stuff. You might be in some hot water.
Well, the metadata will show that I tuned out as soon as the shit started getting weird. So whatever.
Will it though?
I hope so. Cross your fingers. But yeah, so I don't know. It's like I want to watch Borat 2, but it's on Amazon Prime, and then I want to watch a lot of Disney shit, but it's on Disney Plus. I don't have either of those right now. I don't know which one I want to buy.
I thought you had Disney Plus.
No, I have Hulu, but not Disney Plus for some reason.
Oh.
So yeah, I need to fix that. But
I'll send you a website where you can watch all this shit for free.
Fantastic.
Break
my laptop even worse.
Well, get a fucking ad blocker.
What else did I have? Did you see the Amazon Mario promo that's going on?
What? No.
Amazon is going to be sending packages in Super Mario Brothers themed boxes for the next couple weeks, and
but
I'm a little mad at it just because Nintendo signed a contract with them to do that, and it's like, but it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, and it's like. Everyone knows who Super Mario is. That's a weird advertisement, right?
I think they've done something like that before, though, actually, now that I think about it.
Like, who else has done that? Like, has there ever been a Coca-Cola? Like, that just seems like such an egregious marketing thing.
No, Coke's done something like that before.
It's bizarre to me. I don't know.
I also saw that the Mario Kart, like, live racers thing was, like, a real thing.
Yeah.
And it looks so stupid.
Oh, shut up!
Holy
It looks
shit.
amazing. I love it.
It looks really dumb.
And it's like the Tickle Me Elmo right now. They're all sold out. There's
it
like
looks
scalpers.
It looks really stupid.
Dude,
it's basically you put a car on your floor and it drives around your floor at like half a mile per hour. But on the TV, it looks so crazy. But it's like,
well, yeah, it's supposed to be like, you know, for an apartment or something like that. You could make it bigger and crazier, you know.
It looks so stupid.
I fucking want one. I don't even give a shit. I'm gonna wait until the scalpers are not trying to profit off of them. There's gonna be more before Christmas.
So what? Then you're gonna buy your own then you're gonna inexplicably get into model cars, and it's gonna be model trains, and then we're gonna own a Hobby Lobby, and people are gonna think we're gayer than we already are. All right, we've talked about this before.
I'm gonna be so autistic. It's gonna be so awesome, dude.
I knew this was the fate that I was destined for.
Do you want to talk about Hee Haw, or should we do a whole episode about that?
Jesus Christ. So for people who don't know, me and Xander and Sydney spent Halloween getting drunk and watching Hee Haw. If you don't know what Hee Haw is, it is what some would call a sketch show, sitcom type deal. It's a Southern Fried Fever dream, if you ask me.
It's by white folks for white folks. You know what I mean? And it's
not a black person in sight on that show.
But you know what I realized after watching it? Like, at first I was thinking, like, why aren't there no black people? But it's like, would you want black people on Hee Haw?
I wouldn't want to be on Hee Haw.
It's probably for the best that they just make fun of how dumb white folks are.
Exactly, because the minute black people come on Hee Haw, then everybody's going to think they're the next Mel Brooks and want to write a fucking Blazing Saddles sketch. And it's like, no, you're not that creative. It's like when people think they're the Rick. Or they're you know, it's like, no, you're not smarter than everybody. You're just a 38-year-old asshole. Like, you're not Mel Brooks. I promise you.
You're just a drunk libertarian. You're not a fucking genius.
Yeah, like fucking. How many funny Republicans are there? Not many.
Not even. I can't think of one. But
God.
But yeah,
it's funny because on Twitter people like make those jokes, be like, "I've never seen an attractive Republican," and then some fucking box face ass bitch will be like, "Yeah," and like everybody will just be like, "Exactly, look at you,"
or like up. Kellyanne Conway or Caitlyn Bennett or like just any of these like. Just
Caitlyn Bennett looks inbred, dude. Like her eyes are so like far apart that like I'm sure there's some cousin fucking going on there.
Yeah, she's like a 6.5, but she's like the fucking poster girl of the right because she goes around with a rifle and acts like a bitch.
It is funny, like the fucking thirsty right wing dude comments on like her Instagram post of just like, oh my god, you're my libertarian queen.
After years of Caitlyn, it's no wonder they got so excited about Abby Shapiro. Because, like, Abby is actually an attractive woman. Like, Abby's like an 8, you know what I mean? Maybe a 9. I could give it to her.
9.5, dude.
I couldn't talk to her. That'd be the hard part.
What am I going to say to
Can you imagine?
What am I going to say to Abby Shapiro? Nothing.
Trying to finesse that shit? So, where did you go to school? Oh, me? Nowhere. School.
I graduated high school and worked in a restaurant for 3 years.
School of Hard Knocks, and by that I mean fry cook. Yeah, that's.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Nelson. I have bad credit.
So, how many buffalo wings can you fry in an hour? Because my high score is 1,100. Fucking Christ.
Tell me how far back does that vibrato go? I think that line might...
my girl's got the deep vibrato. That is for real. God, can you imagine? Oh, God, sing for me, Abby. Fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm sorry if this is your first episode and you don't know the whole Abby Shapiro inside joke that goes on here.
Man, that's kind of funny. Remember a couple weeks ago that I like got in some chat with leftists and like told them to check out our podcast.
Oh fuck.
They both did not like. They both did a downvote on our YouTube.
Oh god damn it!
They came expecting some woke lefty shit, and we disappointed them. So
no, that's the thing. I'm
left, but not woke. I'm not sitting. I'm not trying to be. I hate to sound like politically incorrect is gay. That sucks. But it's
it's like I'm black.
I have a sense of humor about shit.
25,
dude.
so like I can't help but like live a woke life. But like if I'm like gonna be funny and like share stories and shit and be honest with you people, then I'm not gonna lie to you and say that Abby Shapiro is ugly.
Yeah, and that's kind of the funny.
The fuck?
And that's is like we're not it's not as if we are the only ones like sexualizing Abby Shapiro. That's most of that. No, that's most of her fan base. That's her fan base in general. Yeah. So,
but we're honest about it. We're not saying like, oh my god, like I'm so Republican, Abby Shapiro would love me. It's like me and Abby Shapiro would have nothing in common, but I would love to slam some ham. Yeah,
and that's
like, that's it.
That's fine. Women out there, leftist women, you are free to sexualize as many dudes as you want out there. Fine.
Yeah.
If you want to bang Bernie, I understand. I hope you do. Fucking.
I mean, you know how most leftist women have a daddy kink. But anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm making it.
Or the opposite. They just don't want a guy at all.
I'm not gonna generalize women anymore.
Oh, that's my job.
Yeah, it's like you're old and white. You can get away with it.
I don't have a girlfriend. I never will again. It's fine. Got shit growing on my penis that I'm worried about. Just kidding.
Did you see this thing? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this thing?
What thing?
The thing in the news about Donald Trump going around with a stunt double wife.
I feel like I've heard things like that. That's like a QAnon thing. They feel like they...
No, dude, there's like a video of it, dude. Of like a lady, like he's at like a rally, and she comes out and she's got like this big like wide brim hat and like these huge sunglasses, and it's like when she turns and he kisses her on the cheek, and then like you see like a look at like the front of her face, and you're like, you can see like she's got like a different shaped nose, and you're like, that's definitely not his wife. That's just a skinny woman with cheekbones.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And the same color hair. Who they just,
at this point, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he's going around with a fucking stunt double wife.
His actual wife fucking hates him. Like, it's so obvious.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like people have let her off too easy as just Melania. It's like, no, she's complicit. Fuck her too. Yeah, no,
like, so I feel bad for her to the extent that she was a desperate sex worker from the Ukraine or some crazy shit, and she has the chance to marry this millionaire, and he eats nothing but McDonald's and is huge and fat and disgusting. And she was probably like, oh yeah, this will be 10 years tops. 10 years and this guy dies and I get all his money. She had no idea it would be like this. She had no idea. Dude, I think there's
somebody in the chat that's like betting on this election.
As long as we get the profits from it, then yeah, throw your money down, bro. That's fine.
I don't think we are. I just asked him if he's betting on each state because he's throwing out all these numbers and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. Sure.
Yo, that's cool if you're following it that tightly. What's his name? Is it the guy from Majority Report?
No, it's some like PC Igor Puss. I don't fucking know.
Hey, hell yeah, dude.
Oh, it's John. It's John, the man who is not a Nazi.
Oh, good. Welcome back to being cool, bro.
Yeah. Apparently he just came to talk shit.
Fantastic.
As we race towards oblivion. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I know he doesn't like you.
That's fine. We don't have to be friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I made some posts about Punk Black, and this dude was just like, yeah, the Iranian guy from my band tried to get booked with them, and they wouldn't book him because he was the only Iranian dude in the band. And like I was telling this guy, I'm just like, well, I don't know about all that. I don't do the booking.
Sure.
But if he's one Iranian guy and this was a band that had like 5 people in it, and it's like if he's 1/5 of a band that's full of white dudes, then yeah, there might be a low chance that he's gonna get booked at Punk Black.
That's called tokenization, right? Like
exactly. Like the way he was explaining it, it seemed like he was trying to like token out his his bandmate to get on like a Punk Black show, and it didn't work out, and he was pissed about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just
that's
like I'm talking to Vaughn about it, and Vaughn's just like, "What's this band?" And like I tell him the band, and like he's talking to like Mateo and the guys that like handle some of this shit, and like what it comes down to is just like, well, some people are going to be upset that they can't get booked, and that's just a fact. That's just a part of doing business.
That'd be like me claiming to be like an Armenian musician, and I'm like a quarter Armenian, like literally. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, and like it's funny because like you tried to cite that fuck, I was about to say Aoshi. That was the old name of their band, but that Cascading got to play a Punk Black.
Sure.
But it's just like, 2 of their guitar players are Asian, right? So I mean, like,
maybe just bring that out of it. Maybe it was just that, like, hey, you are clearly just using this one dude as a way to get your foot in the door, and also Cascading is like an amazingly talented band that is like,
it's just like, I wouldn't care. I would have booked them anyway because they're really good. But yeah, shouts out to Jam and everybody in Cascading. But yeah, I mean, it was like super weird because I'm just like I posted about the podcast and he's just like, fuck Punk Black. And I'm just like, whoa, I'm just the podcast.
It's really goofy.
Relax.
Man. That's really goofy.
Yeah, dude. Like
people are fucking weird.
White men be getting real bold. I tell you what.
It's like, God damn it, dude.
I'm having tangerine burps because I've got like this Hawaiian punch my brother bought, and I guess it's got like a weird like mandarin tangerine flavor, and like I don't want to completely mix it with this vodka, but like my burps are coming up all tangerine. My burps are coming up cuties.
I like it. I could eat some tangerines right now. I could eat some fruit.
I eat a whole bag of them shits.
I think I have some mashed potatoes waiting for me upstairs that I'm pretty excited about.
Dude, speaking of potatoes, I don't think I made a big enough deal about this or even brought it up on this podcast. But my mom made some slamming ass potato soup.
Oh my God.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, I'm not a soup guy, but potato soup I consider a stew.
Yeah.
Because
nice
it's like
thick.
all the chunks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, woo, boy.
Potatoes are one of the best fucking things.
She makes this potato soup, stew, whatever. Comes home, fries up some bacon, throws the bacon in there with the potato soup and some cloves of garlic. And I'm just like, can I have it now? And she's like, no, wait. And like, fucking, goes to like pick up my younger brother from somewhere, comes home with these like things that look like breakfast sausages, but they're like mini brats or whatever.
Hell
I don't fucking know.
I love bratwurst.
Some German thing.
Yeah.
Cooks those up, throws those in there, throws some more garlic in there, and then she's like, oh shit.
Hell yeah.
And then leaves and comes back with some Parmesan cheese. And I'm like, can I eat this fucking soup?
I like how
now?
she keeps leaving to get more ingredients. Like, oh, that would be fucking good. And she needs it so bad she's got to go get it. I've totally been there before.
Yeah, dude. Like, just leaving it simmering. And I'm just sitting there just like, fuck, I want this soup, dude. This soup. Dude.
Yeah.
And, man, I tell you, last night I was so fucking tired.
Yeah.
Because
got all food
by the time
high.
by the time this comes out, I would have had 2 dentist appointments in 1 week.
Jesus.
Which sucks balls. And yeah, and so it's like my mouth was like numb all day. And so I was just like hitting dabs and taking naps. Just waiting for my mouth to not feel as numb.
That should be a t-shirt.
Taking dabs and naps. Taking dabs and taking naps. Hitting dabs and taking naps.
Hell yeah.
But like, yeah. And so like I wake up and like the numbness is kind of going away, and I have to like dig into this potato soup, and I'm just like, yeah, this is home.
Yeah, that's good living. Yeah, and that's got me. We're at almost 2 hours, man. I think I need to eat something so we can get on to stream and keep going.
I think Yeah, I think we can go ahead and wrap up the podcast
Cool.
here. We can hop on and stream some Smash Brothers. If you want to stream it from your Switch, that's fine. We can do that.
Let me figure that out. I think it'd be easier for you to do that since you already have the shit going. But do you want to sign off and come back?
Yeah, that's what I thought we were gonna do.
Yeah,
because I'm probably gonna go eat something.
Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll meet it back up soon.
All right. Well, this has been the Indistinct Conversation podcast.
Thanks for
I'm
watching.
Nelson. Fucking Xander's been here too.
Thanks, guys.
This is episode 87.
87. Year I was born. Election night.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And honestly, whatever world we're living in, I want to give some positive words and say,
we'll be okay.
We'll be okay. And if we're not going to be okay, then, we'll fight and we're strong.
Well, we got a lot of fighting to do no matter who's the
it.
president. Whether it's
Exactly.
We're still fighting.
No matter who wins, we got a lot of work to do.
So.
And, what everybody needs to understand is this is a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. And if we want this country to be in the place, where we're all equal and we all have, the inalienable rights that we fucking should have as fucking American citizens, then we've got work to do. So no matter where the shit lands, no matter where the other shoe drops, on Wednesday morning when you wake up or whenever you listen to this podcast, just understand that
we're here for you.
We're here for you. We got your back. Unless you're like a Trump supporter or something.
Oh, yeah. No Nazis, no racists. Sorry.
Yeah, if you're like a Nazi or a Trump supporter, we don't have your back. If you voted Trump, you can go fuck yourself.
Women's rights, trans rights, blacks' lives, all that good shit.
Yeah, exactly. All that's human rights right there, buddy. And, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Fuck off.
Fuck you.
Thank you.
Yeah, fuck off. Fuck you. Get out. All of that shit. Any 2 words that you can put on a t-shirt.
No one is free until everyone is free, goddammit.
Exactly. We got shit we got to do. And at the end of the day, we're all here for each other. And so, yeah, I'm Nelson. This has been... I've been Nelson. That's Sander. This has been the Instant Conversation podcast. We'll see you guys next time. And take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Carpe diem. Que sera, sera. You'll see us next
Love
time.
you guys.